have in the studio the founder of the largest privately owned art gallery in Africa, the Kike Art Gallery. He is a Nigerian textile act. Her name is Chief Yinka Davis. That was a very impressive profile and one that inspires every one of us, especially we women on this table. It's nice to have you in the studio, ma. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
Right.
I was discussing at home with my daughter, about your flamboyant headgears. That's what really got to her. And she was rooting for me to ask you, Mama, say, how did you come about the concept of this, your flamboyant headgears?
Well, as you know, our country, we have, in the continent of Africa, we have 54. And Nigeria is the giant. So one day I was just thinking, I said, Nigeria is the giant. 1/4 of the people that live in Africa live in Nigeria. Why not our own crown, bigger than the other crown? So the crown of the woman is the gele of the woman. And anywhere Nigeria goes, just by looking at the gele, they will not even say Africa. They will say Nigeria, Nigeria. So then I say, oh, let me make it big, like how big, I may ask, Nigeria is very big.
Yes.
Then I said, this comes in when Mandela died. And our Oga, Professor Yinka, he said we should do something that will make everybody remember Nigeria as the icon. So that is, I created this gele. He was so happy. Then they cast the head of Mandela. Then this gele will continue to be like canopy, the crown of Nigeria in general.
That's a good one. Thank you.
So from this, we take singly, we take auto gele, we take one Nigeria. Men follow me. So we have been doing different. I went to Jankara, I went to Tinubu to show them. So most of the people are doing 2, 3 steps now. So soon it will get to this one.
That's very interesting, man. Thank you so much.
You're a woman of many firsts, and one of such is the biggest art gallery in Nigeria. In other countries or other climes of the world, we'll see art making being a source of revenue for even small cities and even some small countries. But in Nigeria, it's something that has been relegated. As someone who has thrived in that industry, how would you say the business has been, especially looking at arts tourism or cultural tourism?
Well, that is why I'm so happy to see this, our young people like her now, putting this on social media for people to know our art is our culture. And for them showcasing it, nobody can showcase us like Nigeria or like ourselves. And the future belongs to the young people in Nigeria. And that is why I'm very proud of them. Nigeria people, especially the youth, they have made us proud. So whatever we have, once they start showing it to the third world, to the other continent, then they will say, oh, if Nigeria can do this, let me do this. So our art is our signature. Nigeria may not have other things, but they only depend on oil. But art is what Nigeria have to offer to a lot of people. So that is why they always say, bring the old art back. But the artists are creating better things. Look at all these Dotun Popola, Ogunwo, Baba Bruce Anambropaya, and somebody like even Rele Gallery, Njidika, the highest amount of, price of the artwork right now is Nigerian woman leading $3.4 million for one art in US. So we have to start now promoting what we have here so the other people can help us. So Njidika is the leading African woman with the price. Art is priceless. But if it's here, they will say, oh, I will buy it when I'm ready. But the society decides the price of the artist. And now Nigerian art is coming into fashion.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Many thanks for that, man. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a festival of Arts and Culture in Brazil with a grand show from the representative of the Oduduwa, so to speak. You know, it was bigger than any singular show of arts and culture in Nigeria. So what can be done to revive the love of our own culture and dressing in Nigeria, as we have almost lost ourselves, so to, you know, when it comes to we copying the Western culture and also in our dressing?
Well, what we can do is to come together as one. You know, the Nolly film has put us in the world map. Then we have to start bringing visitor in. There is no tourist visa for Nigeria. And that is number one. Then the security is number two. After that, the people coming to Nigeria, you know what they want to see? They want to see the huts. They are not looking for five-star hotel. They want to see how we eat, how we dress. So we need to be giving tourist visa and also improve in our security. That will bring tourists to Nigeria.
Okay.
I want to agree with what you said now, because I find out that if you see most captions, you see a few videos, you see white people actually wanting to eat our food.
Yes.
And they're actually eating it, not with cutlery.
No.
With their fingers. They're eating okele.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
They're eating okele. They're eating. You ask a white man, what's your favorite soup? And he says it's egusi.
Yes.
Egusi.
Yes.
You understand? You know, you see the Chinese, they're trying to learn our language, particularly the Yoruba and Igbo languages. They're learning, they're teaching their children how to speak these languages out there in China. So I am wondering, because like Kike said, we're losing out on our values. Our culture, our tradition is who we are. So I can't understand, Mama, because going by your age and experience, where do you think we got it wrong? Where did we get it wrong?
First of all, we have to start packaging our children right from the age of 6 and put our language as number 1 in the school curriculum. So back home, if you are Yoruba, you will tell your children, no English. Let them speak Yoruba to you. If you are Igbo, let them speak Igbo to you. If they are Hausa, let them speak. Then when they get to school, in those days, they will say, no vernacular in the school. But now, our children cannot even say, how can you go out? So they need to put all this in the children book right from the age of kindergarten. So they will be able to carry on this language and also to know the direct background of their own family. You know, some of them, they will say, oh, my father is this name. I never been home. You will see the Oyibo take their children on holiday. No matter where you come from, you have to start taking your children home. Let them know Abule, Abba, Oruko Abba, Oruko family house. So if anything happens, they can always say, oh, my father is from this family house in Ibadan. Then the farmhouse is called Agongo. So all this is part of what we have to put in the curriculum for the children in the school.
And that would also go a long way in preserving our arts and culture. I couldn't agree more. But Ma, in looking at how I do know that art is universal and different interpretations can stem from one particular art. You can have a diversity of interpretation. But let's bring it back home. In Nigeria, what would you say is the home of arts? Some people will say the Benin, the ancient Benin kingdom. Some will say the Oduwa kingdom. But where would you say is the home of arts?
Well, art lives in our country. Every part of Nigeria have art. Look at when we say indigo now. They will say indigo come from Abeokuta. Indigo come from the whole Nigeria. Indigo come from Kano. 400 years ago, the ancient dye pit is in Kano. So Oshogbo ìlú Aro ń bẹ l'Oshogbo ṣe ń wo ní lọ. So Oshogbo also Osun State, we say the indigo. So art is in every state because it's part of our culture. In those days, you will do the art, you will carry it to the king. The king will bless it, especially in Ede, where they worship Shango. The carver will carve the wood. They will say this is Shango with the authority of Ose Shango. Then the king will bless it. He will say, take it to your home family and make sure you look after it. It doesn't mean you are worshiping it. It's just like the people who have twins. They have to make a carving of twins. When the twins travel, they talk to those carving. It doesn't mean you are an idol worshiper. It's part of culture. So art lives in our country. It lives every village. When you see some of the king, just ask them about the history. What do they do here? Some of them are blacksmiths in Ogbomoso. Then you go to Iseyin, they will say, oh, we are the owner of Asho Sonya. Then you go to Ondo, they will say, we are the owner of... So when you look at all this, every city in Nigeria have their own art. Art background.
All right, many thanks, Ma. Before we go on a break, it's important for me to quickly ask you this question because I know it's a little bit controversy. You know, I know music is a product of our arts and culture, and our government recently congratulated Burna Boy and Wizkid. Even Governor Wike was giving out money for for their achievement, so to speak. So, you being an embodiment of art, and in Nigeria you've shown a lot of how will I put it now, a lot of legacy for those who are coming behind you. It's important for me to pick your brain. What's your own submission on such, especially with the government making such a landmark, such amount of money to all these artists, knowing that all this money that is being given to them, it can be another form of, creating ease of doing business in each of the states.
Yes, what I will advise our every state in Nigeria to do is to build a contemporary art gallery for our people, our children, to be able to see. They can even build, it may not be a museum, but it can just be a small art gallery. So when they give this money, the money will go. It's like, I always say the money of, when they give it like this, it doesn't last because they don't really suffer for it. But people who put something, the legacy down, where people can come together as age mates, they can always go and say, okay, this contemporary, you will see some of the people in the village, in the town or the village, they will be putting money down. If the government says this land belongs to art, this land belongs to cultural center, beside the club, they love the club, but they don't love their own direct background. So I will advise our government, somebody like Rufai, when he was in Abuja, he started the cultural festival in Abuja. Immediately he left, everything died down. We need more people among our governor in Osun now is trying a lot. Just all the schools in Osun, they are now wearing adire. So we need them to put effort and just say to them, wear this, let the people see your culture on you. Let people see where you keep your art. Let people see your own museum. They are happy when they go to a place and say, oh, my mother used to wear this, put something like this in the house. So we need more support from the government. Just give a place, build it. We artists, we will decorate it ourselves.
That's a nice one. I think it's important for us to quickly go on a quick break, but when we return, a word from our sponsors. All right, glad to know you're still right there. If you're just joining us or you just joined us, we have a batik and art tester, designer and founder of Kike Art Gallery, Chief Kike Davis, and she's been talking to us on the journey of African art through the years. And don't forget to join the conversation online by making comments on our social media platform, Real Talk with Kike. And of course, you can join us on our Talk on Twitter. We are streaming live on our YouTube page. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Real Talk with Kike. If you like to join us on this conversation, please call the number on the screen, 080-988-77 400. Let's hear your perspective of the topic at hand. Of course, you have every right to call us and ask our guests any comments, any queries, anything you have to. So, Mama, you know, many thanks for all your submission thus far. You know, 1987, that was where I think that was 37 years ago, where textile firms in the country and came to play or came to stand. And by 1991, it had employed about 40,000 workers, so to speak, in the manufacturing sector, to be precise. Now, I think over 300 and something as well of products we've consumed in that same industry, and we've also imported as well. So my first question to you, are we complementing our manufacturing sector, especially when it comes to dyeing of adires, or is it a problem of the government or the patriotism of Nigeria, so to speak?
Well, I will say it's a problem of the Nigerian government, because they have the oil, they throw away the manufacturing textile. They should do all those textile company. So people will be able to produce. We are growing cotton in Nigeria. Nobody grow cotton anymore. They were exporting cotton before. But now nobody export cotton. We are now importing cotton. We need those these people who are, manufacturing textile. We need more textile industry.
All right, Mama. We have a caller on the line. I think we have Benjamin from Jos. Benjamin, many thanks for calling us. What's your contribution on the show today?
You are well done.
Thank you.
I want to greet Mama that she's well done.
She can hear you.
And I can say that all these things that she's doing, it is not easy for people that have mind, and also to set the country that we are positively. And also, I want to ask whether she has school. Is it a foundation that she has?
All right. Thank you, Benjamin.
Yes, I actually have a center in Osogbo where I train youth, especially people who are going to school before they started their school textile something. So they come to Osogbo. I have a center in Osogbo, which is taking 120 people. I have a center in Abuja for people who are closer to the northern Nigeria, and a gallery there for them to sell it. And I have one in Kogi State, where, especially in my village, where we have 240 women on the loom, women's loom. They weave the fabric, and also they turn it to textile. And we also do turn it trash to treasure as well. So in Lagos, we have the gallery, and we have the recycle textile, all those iron in Badore.
Into arts.
Badore. That is the workshop we have in Lagos.
Do we have another caller?
All right, we have another caller on the line. Hello, what's your name and where you calling from? Okay, we have a Lighton from Ibadan. Many thanks to Lighton for calling or for joining us today.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Turn down the volume of your TV, please.
All right, Lighton, go ahead, please, with your question.
Yeah, I will really say a very big thank you to Mama.
Okay.
Because I'm also an artist, though.
That's nice.
If we could have more of Mama doing that kind of thing here in Nigeria, the young artists will really go a very long way. And the other thing is, in secondary school, which is the beginning of art, I could just employ everyone if they can just include it in their curriculum for younger children to benefit from it. So once again, I really commend Mama. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lighton. So Mama, listening to all you've said thus far, I think we need to bring you back to technology. And technology importation is quite low right now. And I've seen quite a number of technology taking the space and the influences that it has on in your sector. So do you think tech will have a hacked industry in Nigeria other than the traditional way computer has taken over man's job at the moment?
Well, you know, part of the Adire design is called Atelewo Eneke Tonije. Even though we have computer, those are good, but still we have to go back to our root to always know that anything you do with your hand have more feeling. Even when you want to buy art on internet, you want to see it, you want to feel it. So we need to work more with our hand and let people know how hard it is to use your hand to work. So, but anyway, I don't know. And I also, not only thanking me, we have to thank Kike for making it possible for somebody like me to be here. Without the social media, they will not see me without her. So I thank the Silver Board and I thank Kike.
Thank you, Mama.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, Mama, I was going to take you back to going back to our roots. I'm very passionate about that. First, in the way Marshall already mentioned before, I think he did, the way we dress, you know, the way we talk, you know, you find most of, let me not say most because I don't have the stats right now. You just find a good number of our youth, Nigerians generally, wanting to anglicize Nigerian names. You see a name like Remy, Oluwaremi Lekun, they go Remy. I mean, our names are lyrical.
Kike as Kiki.
You know, no, Kike. This is Kike. Do you understand? Our names are lyrical. The average white man does not want to speak like us. So question is, why do we want to speak like them? So talking about going back to our roots, Ma, I take it back to you, the elderly. Please, Ma, help us. Where do we go from here?
Well, we have to start from our children now who are giving name to their children. They have to teach them, first of all, how to speak their own language, which is number one. Then they have to tell them the meaning of their name, how beautiful it is. You don't see Oyibo giving their children Ogungo. Why do we want to give our children Martin? You have to give that traditional name. You can go to the church to get baptized, but still, that traditional name has to be number one. How we eat, how we greet, how we communicate. Children wake up in the morning now, they will say hi. No, you have to teach your children Eka Rosa. If you are Igbo, you say in Igbo language, then you just teach what the children need to. If you don't teach them now, it will be too late. Yes. So I want, especially those people overseas, they have to teach them how to pronounce things properly. If not, it will really go bad in another few years. They will not even know where their culture is coming from. So they have to let them know the meaning and the pronunciation, how it goes up and down. You know, one word can mean 5 things in Yoruba. Agbon, Agbon, Agbon. So if they don't pronounce it well and say, oh, my name is Agbon, you know, I
can already imagine.
Yes, yes.
Mama, hearing you speak is making me want to keep my Marshall, my English name behind me and project the Ononye. Well, it's good to hear you speak like this, but I'm wondering to myself, the First Act 77 was very loud. It was one event that really projected us on the landmap of arts in the global space. And people over the years have yearned to say, First Act 77. We've even seen in infrastructural development what First Act 77 did for us, the housing estates and all. How can we have people like you, ambassadors of great arts, project the need for us to have such an Olympiad again of arts?
It has to start from the top there. First of all, we even need our own minister for art. They cannot put one minister for 2 people. So, speaker and also art. No, we need our own minister who will say, our people from over there, those are our children, they are coming back, they are going to Ghana. Nigeria have land to bring them back. So they need to repeat what they did in 77. Bring all our children, bring all
back.
the African America, the Caribbean, bring them back to Nigeria. Let them spend little money, pay for their accommodation, make them feel at home. So those our children who refuse to even come back, they will be coming back home. Because they scare them. They name our own culture bad. So people can throw away their culture. But even in India, their culture is number one. So we need somebody in the government who can help us, especially we are sending message. We are pleading to the president, do another festac in this time, so people can bring all their people back from
They are abroad.
All right.
Yes.
Many thanks, Mike. You know, I can't help but say this. With your international recognition, Mama, I can proudly say you have achieved a landmark in the global landscape of arts, and a few people will struggle to surpass all of that in any decades to come, so to speak. So what's left for you to achieve, and what dreams do you still have with your craft, if I may ask?
Yes, as we said, the people should be doing the art from secondary school. I think they should start from primary school. I think they should start the art from primary school, not only...
So, Mama, please hold that thought. We'll go on a quick break and return after a word from our sponsors. Thank you. Well, like we were saying earlier, you know, you've left a landmark that quite a number may not be able to fill those shoes. So, you know, I would like to know what's left for you. What do you think that you would like to do when it comes to your dreams or your craft?
Well, I would love to leave a book which will be written on textile. So the way we dress, when the children wearing danshiki, dandogo, agbada, kembe, all these traditional dress. So at least every Friday, when they say everybody dress down, Nigerians, this is Ijoba Alagbada. They should be wearing agbada all week and just dress down one day in a week. So they should go back. That is the book I will be looking for somebody to write for me, as I don't know. So this book, children will be learning how to dress. Children will be learning their food. Children will be learning how to say Eji, Okan. Because they don't teach them. They just say one Okan, one Okan, 102, 2 abo, 3 ato. All these things, they are nobody know about it anymore. That will be my next book on textile and the meaning
That'll be fantastic.
Of the textile.
That'll be
All
very
right,
fantastic.
Mama. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We are glad to have you on Real
fantastic.
Talk with Kike. But before we let you go, Mama, we will be diving into the trendy stories that caught our attention and that affect us all. And the first one was Yinka Odumakin. Thank you. You know, the Afenifere who died over the weekend, and due to COVID-19 complications, you know, he was a statesman and a true fighter for Yoruba nation. There are quite a number of goodwill messages that have been put out there for him. Mama, have you ever met Yinka Odumakin, to be precise? What's your message for him, and especially for his family right now?
Well, I want to tell his family, no matter what happened, God owns our life. So they should just mock on. I don't know how to put it in English.
Yes, I told you.
They should
We keep it
mock
real,
on.
yeah.
And also, just take it as it is. All of us has to go one day, but we pray for his soul to rest in perfect peace. But we are going to miss him.
Yes.
The cry of the Yoruba is not now. It's another century to come, because the beautiful and the hard work he has done will remain forever. So we will always remember him.
All right. You know, Masha, what's your take with...
For me, it was a shocking news when I woke up that morning to see the news of Yinka Odumakin, you know, in the papers. He's a big brother, and I've hosted him in several talks, and I've also revered him for his strong opinion on Nigeria's state of the nation. And like his wife said yesterday, that she wishes her husband could see the accolades pouring in from the people that he himself criticized. That really got to me. People that he criticized in power were pouring out accolades to say, look, we've lost someone really great. It's a great loss to the nation, and I pray that the Almighty God gives the family the fortitude to bear the loss.
Right, many thanks, Efo.
For me, it came as a rude shock also because I know he's a pan-Yoruba activist. Fearless, very courageous. He will say it as it is, whether you like it or not. You know, and for his age, I looked at his age and I said, oh my God, we're about same age bracket, you know, and he's been like there forever, like a colossus, you know. And together with his wife, you can imagine two activists coming together, you know. I think it's a huge loss to this country, you know, because he's somebody who will say it as it is. He doesn't care whose ox is God. He will just say it and tell you to your face. So take it or leave it. Yinka Odumakin lives on. He certainly lives on.
All right, many thanks, Efo. I think well, you all have spoken well. I think the lessons I want to draw from here is that when people are alive, when they are still breathing, when we still have them with us, when can we learn to celebrate them? Can we learn to show kindness? Can we learn to actually put aside whatever differences we have in culture, in politics and all of that, and celebrate the works of people's hands? I think that is one thing I think we need to embrace and bring back into our lives, not until when people are gone, when they can no longer hear all those good feedback, because sometimes the criticism, you know, it goes a long way that it affects people mentally, you know. And I would just say this: may God continue to be with his beautiful wife and children. And I pray that God will continue to be with them, because regardless of whatever they want to say here today, they are the ones that are actually wearing the shoes, and they know where it affects them all. So, you know, let's quickly jump into the second trending stories that caught our attention as well. Is that of Desiani's cousin, who put his son on a London street with a protest sign calling Buhari wicked. Those were his words, and there are different reactions to that, you know. And I would like to get Mama's take on that. What's your opinion when it comes to you know, putting his son on the streets of London?
Well, I will advise every mothers, every parent not to actually do that, because you never know. You never know. So I know there is something that caused that, but still, I will just, my own advice is not to put your child. They said, "Omo buruku o se ti se enokene o." So even though no matter what happens, I will just advise every parent not to do that.
All right, thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Ma.
Yes, for me, I think, yes, it's one of, unfortunately, it is one of the trending stories. And so we're talking about trending stories. It's an unfortunate thing. That child has no say of his own. If you ask me, the child is, you know, doing something beyond his own control. And it's wrong. Desiani Alison Madueke should have known better than using a minor to, you know, carry out
push
that
message.
Yeah, push out her message, so to speak. As per the message itself, Buhari being wicked, if she wanted to take anything out on Buhari, she should have done that. If she's wanted, as a matter of fact, so she should show her face and then confront or challenge the man himself. I'm not a fan of either.
All right, Mama, we are so blessed to have you in the studio with us today. Many thanks for honoring my invitation. But, you know, I cannot let you go until you answer one question from my hand. This is personally from me to you, you know, because I'm one of those who have, you know, faced some little, you know, backlashes, if that's what to use right now. Words have failed me, you know, when it comes to marriages. And I know that you were forced into early marriage as a teenager, and I would like to hear your take on child marriage, and how this whole experience, you know, has shaped you to who you have become today. And of course, also when it comes to marriages of today that are no longer celebrated for decades or 2 decades, what do you think is affecting all of those change right now?
Well, I want to tell all the youth, when they say marriage, there is no perfect marriage.
Yes.
So people manage themselves. And it's give and take. My first marriage, we are 15 wives. Then I lived there 15 years. Then I was so happy to marry to another country. That one did not work because he wanted to go back to his home country. So then I married to police. Then police, because police doesn't like artists. But what I want, the part I want to say there is to tell the people is give and take. Marriage needs suru. Because you are coming from different homes. And I always want the young people, when you know the man you marry, before you marry the person, if he's a hot temper, you will cool down. He's going to beg you. They are our children. These men, they are our children. We are the mothers. No matter how young you are still the mother to your husband. So you cool down, he will come back. He will come back to his senses. Then if it's for a lady who is very hot temper, because you know sometimes people they will say, let me click him so he can get. So you will just say, okay, don't worry, be happy. So you just take your, at the end of the day, so they just have to know how to manage themselves. There is no perfect marriage. Then even to say two children from the same mother, the same father, they fight. So to say another home, you are bringing another person from another home. Background. So it's going to take a while, but after that, they will know how to live with each other. Once one, they have patience. Suru.
You read it all. So I know many thanks, Mama, for touching on that story. I think the takeaway from that is about finding tolerance and finding balance between the both of you. And today was fun, wasn't it, guys?
Yes, it was.
All right, I enjoyed every bit of the show with my amazing co-hosts Marshall and Efo, and of course our mother in the studio, Chief Kike Davis. Many thanks again for honoring my invitation. I'm so proud of you. My name remains Kike Lomatondao, and we have been on this platform keeping it real with you guys, and of course look at the great walk of art. All right, guys, until we come your way on Thursday, please keep being real and bye now.
Thank you.